I have to be honest with you. This is the first time I baked a cheesecake. It was actually a request by my 12-year-old son. So I decided to give it a try, and man, were we impressed. For this recipe, we use real milk chocolate from Switzerland, mint chocolate, some butter, cream cheese, and I decided to use hot chocolate packets along with some granulated sugar, brown sugar, and we tossed in about 4 eggs to this recipe. Also, we used some heavy whipping cream. For the crust, I opted for a 10-ounce box of cocoa-flavored Teddy Graham crackers. Depending on how thick you want your crust to be is strictly up to you. I decided I wanted to use approximately 8 ounces of the Teddy Graham crackers, which is a majority of the box. This wound up giving me a crust of approximately 1/3 of an inch thick. Now go ahead and fire up your blender for about 5 or 6 seconds. You want your crackers to be uniformly fine throughout. That way, it'll make it so much easier to mix the butter in afterwards. Now, take a half a stick of butter, put it in a microwave-safe bowl, and melt it in your microwave for approximately 10 to 20 seconds. Next, take your melted butter and add it to your crumbs. Go ahead and give it a good mix. You're going to want a good even mix before transferring to the baking pan. Next, go ahead and prepare a 9-inch baking pan. Since I don't have a spring-form pan, I went ahead and used the traditional 9-inch pan. I drape foil over the edges so that it'll be easier to remove the cheesecake from the pan once it is done. Now, go ahead and evenly spread your crumbs to the bottom of the pan, making sure that it's an even spread throughout. I actually learned from others that using the bottom of a measuring device is a good idea to smooth out the crust on the bottom of the pan. Now you are ready to transfer the crust to an oven. Be sure the oven is preset to 325 degrees. While the crust is baking, go ahead and fill a medium-sized pan approximately 1 to 2 inches with water and bring it to a boil. Once the water is boiling, find a heat-resistant bowl that fits evenly over the pan. For the next step, you're going to want to take approximately 1 cup of your Swiss milk chocolate and chop it up finely, as well as a cup of mint chocolate, and you'll want to go ahead and add the two together to the heat-resistant bowl and begin to stir until the chocolate starts to melt. Once the chocolate is evenly melted, go ahead and set it aside, and let's get ready for the next steps. For the cheesecake filling, you're going to want to use 3 8-ounce packages of cream cheese. I opted for Philadelphia cream cheese because this is a personal favorite. Next, you'll want to place the cream cheese in a medium-sized mixing bowl. Now, we're going to go ahead and mix the cream cheese until it's relatively smooth. Once the cream cheese is smooth, you'll want to add a half a cup of granulated sugar, as well as 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, as well as 1 package of hot cocoa mix. If you prefer, 2 tablespoons of cocoa would also do the trick. Now you're going to want to mix all those ingredients into your batter smoothly. If necessary, be sure to stop a few times to scrape the side of the bowl. You want all your batter to be evenly mixed. Once you have an even mix, go ahead and add 3/4 of a cup of heavy whipping cream, as well as your eggs, being sure to add each egg one at a time. Before I forget, make sure your eggs and your heavy whipping cream are at room temperature. This step is very important because it'll help create a smooth texture once your cheesecake is done baking. Whoops, looks like 2 eggs decided to jump in together. That's okay, just make sure you beat them slowly one at a time. Once you are done beating the eggs, let's go ahead and add the melted mint chocolate to our batter. Once all of the mint chocolate is transferred to the batter, go ahead and give it a good even mix. After about 20 or 30 seconds of mixing the chocolate into the batter, you'll want to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract to the mix. Just as we've done previously, go ahead and mix the vanilla extract evenly into the batter. After about 10 to 15 minutes of baking the crust in the oven, go ahead and remove the crust and place the pan inside of a large baking pan. Now you'll want to take your cheesecake batter and pour it directly on top of the crust, making sure you fill almost the entire 9-inch pan. Be sure to smoothen the batter in the 9-inch baking pan. That way, the cheesecake will bake evenly. Now, you'll want to create what is called a water bath. To do this, simply add approximately 1 inch of hot water to your larger baking pan. The reason for this will help your cheesecake bake evenly and help eliminate bubbles from forming on the top of your cheesecake. This will also give your cheesecake a smooth texture. With your oven still at 325 degrees, let's go ahead and transfer the cheesecake to the oven for approximately 1 hour to 1 hour and 10 minutes. Once your cheesecake is done baking, carefully remove it from the oven and place aside until it cools to room temperature. Once at room temperature, wrap your pan with clear plastic and place in the refrigerator for several hours. Before removing the cheesecake from the refrigerator, we'll go ahead and prepare the ganache. In a small pan, bring 1 1/4 cups of heavy whipping cream to a low to medium boil. In a medium-sized baking bowl, go ahead and add your 1 1/2 cups of mint chocolate and milk chocolate chip mixture. I also added a packet of hot cocoa mixture as well. Slowly begin to add the hot whipping cream to your mint chocolate mixture. This will allow your mint chocolate to begin to soften. Once your mint chocolate is soft, go ahead and give it a good even mix. Continue to mix the mint chocolate until smooth. Once your mint chocolate is smooth, Take a half a stick of butter at room temperature and add it to the mix. Continue to stir the butter into your mixture until everything is smooth. Go ahead and set the ganache to the side and remove your cheesecake from the refrigerator. Go ahead and remove the plastic from your 9-inch pan and slowly begin to loosen the foil so that we can remove the cheesecake from the 9-inch pan. Carefully transfer your cheesecake from the 9-inch pan to a large plate. Next, grab your ganache and begin to stir it a little bit since it's been sitting for a while. Slowly pour the ganache on top of the center of the cheesecake until it completely covers the cheesecake. With a rubber spatula, be sure to smoothen all of the ganache over the entire cheesecake. Once the ganache is smooth over the cheesecake, go ahead and place your cheesecake back in the refrigerator for approximately 1 hour to allow the ganache to cool. After cooling for 1 hour, your cheesecake is now ready to serve. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to try this cheesecake. We are almost there, folks. The anticipation. Wow, look at that beautiful slice of cheesecake. Here goes. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please hit like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos from Not My Wife's Kitchen.